Welcome, everybody. This is Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites. Today is June 20th, 2021. This is being recorded and will be available on YouTube. My regular co-host, Robin, is off on assignment today doing a concert somewhere and having a great time entertaining others. And in the meantime, Margie and Ethel have stepped in as co-host. Hello, girls. How you doing, Margie? How you doing, Ethel?
Hi, Richard. Fine.
I thought a good topic would be the cures for Morgellons. First of all, let me say that Morgellons, Columbella, they're just organisms. And if you knew what to look for and knew the early signs, it would be nothing more than a little blip in your life. Really. Easily gotten rid of if you catch them in the first hours. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen often. And oftentimes, people, by the time they find out what they've gotten, they've gone through doctors after doctors. And during the pre-program today, Ethel was leading, a lady was sharing, and I hope she does share with us her experience as well. She happened to come upon a doctor who actually thought that she might have Morgellons, which is very rare because usually you get laughed at and called delusional and sent to a psychiatrist. And I believe her doctor did say she should go see a psychiatrist too. I don't know, but she can share that experience if she would like to. But by the time most of us find out what's going on, it's like the snowball has already knocked over the village. And we've lost our homes, we've lost our furniture, we've lost our careers, we've lost everything, and may even some of us be homeless. It's that bad. And when you go searching on the internet, oh God, you find cures. And when you go on Facebook, oh God, oh, I got this thing happening with me, what's the cure? So, well, I did this and this went away. Well, hey, there are many cures out there. The question is, which one works, for you? And is your degree of Morgellons and parasites the same as somebody else's degree of Morgellons and parasites? Some people are mildly affected and may have dealt with this for 20 years in some degree or another and still totally functionable and just have the irritations, and it's a problem, but it's not overwhelming. Except maybe sometimes it's overwhelming, but generally not totally overwhelming. Others, within days of contracting the organisms, are totally destroyed. I mean, these organisms affect everybody differently, and one of the things we were talking about before we got started, somebody was sharing, well, I've got this going on in my hair or whatever, and it may be that, is that Morgellons? Well, the only thing that actually says whether you have Morgellons or not is the existence of filaments. Now, in Dr. Saverly's book, Morgellons, The Legitimization of a Disease, she makes she distinguishes between fibers, because fibers can be confused as fabric, coming from fabric. That a lot of doctors say, oh, that's just some fabric that you have on your skin or whatever, that you've been sitting on something. So she calls them filaments. Now, these are not ordinary filaments. They're not ordinary hair. They grow like hair. They come out of your skin, oftentimes from a lesion. Now, these lesions are amazing. These lesions can start 1 minute and within 24 hours be huge, humongous, with filaments and fibers coming out. Somebody else, the lesion may develop more slowly and may not be as dramatic. Some people don't even have lesions and still have Morgellons. What characterizes Morgellons is filaments. Now, they can be microscopic in size, where you might need a 60-power scope to actually see them, but they're usually colorful. They're usually blue, black, red, yellow, white. So there are various colors, various lengths. Like I say, some of them you may need a microscope to see them. Others say that they're long and that they move and that they can actually go into their skin again. So we get all kinds of reports. So we have almost an infinite variety of types of filaments that may grow from the skin. And nobody's actually taken the time or did a research project where, hey, send me your filaments and let me look at them, let me categorize them, let me analyze. Nobody's gotten into that. So when you go on the internet and you're looking for answers, you look for cures. So here's the kinds of things that you're going to find. And now this program is based on my solid experience in dealing with these organisms through the development of the King diet, which is the crux of the program. And along the way, we've come upon other things that contribute to getting your life back, making it easier. So we are not here to do wild goose chasing, but this is what a wild goose chase would look like. For instance, you might find a YouTube video that says, I cured myself with bacon. All right, makes sense. In fact, it's part of our protocol, because I think that alkalizing the system is important, and that's what baking soda can do, as well as using our ionic minerals, which at the present time we have difficulty getting. They're out of stock. So alkalizing your system is, but to say that's a cure, all right, so you read that article or see that video, and you rush out. No, you don't have to rush out. You just go to your cabinet, you get the baking soda out, and you start taking baking soda for 2 weeks. And nothing happens. It doesn't work for you the way it did for that guy. All right. So that's one wild goose chase down. So then we read an article. In fact, there's some good research about the Morgellons cocktail that we have in our store. 6 organic oils. Clove oil, lemon, cinnamon, rosemary, red thyme, and when you take these, that people have gotten rid of Morgellons with that. Well, it could be beneficial, and we do have it in the store, but so you run out and you do that, and it doesn't do it either. Okay, well, all right, so second wild goose chase. So we've now gone through 2 months, and they're getting worse. They're not getting better. All right. So then you see another video about supersaturated potassium iodide, and it makes sense. It's not really Morgellons. It's some other kind of organism that they've identified in the supersaturated potassium iodide. We have it in the store. We don't keep it, so, but you run out, you buy it, you use it for 2 or 3 weeks, nothing happens. So that's the third wild goose chase. And then you see something about facial lesions and rifampicin. That's a medication, rifampicin, and it is amazing when it comes to facial lesions. So you go talk to your doctor and get him to prescribe you some rifampicin, and it may help a little bit, but it doesn't. That's another wild goose chase. It's not working. Hey, here's an interesting one: peanut butter. Oh, well, we don't want to eat it. I mean, what do they do? Peanut butter in their hair and all over the body, breaking the goo down. All right. Well, hey, this is what it worked for them. So you read that, all right, I'm desperate. I'll try any damn thing. So we get the peanut butter, we rub ourselves down, and we do that for a week or 2, and our bed sheets are clogged up with peanut butter, and oh crap, that didn't work either. Well, it worked for somebody. All right. Well, another wild goose chase down. Don't you just love these wild goose chases? You see them all over the internet. There's a biofreeze approach, using biofreeze. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you do with a biofreeze, but it's there. So you go out and you buy some biofreeze and you put that on. But, you know, I do have all this information available on how to use it if anybody wants it. I'm glad to share it. In fact, people who write into me and say, hey, I don't have any money to buy anything from your store. Absolutely. Well, the point is, this program today, we do have an online store. I got my life back long before I had an online store or any of my products. You know, I went to 10 different websites, put in 10 different usernames, 10 different passwords, and bought what I needed. Well, the purpose of our store is to basically have everything available that you might want to get your life back. So you will find supersaturated potassium iodide. You will find the Morgellons cocktail, and many people do use these things. But are they the cure in themselves? Never. I haven't had one person tell me that the supersaturated potassium iodide that we've had in the store for about 2 or 3 years, or the Morgellons cocktail for that length of time, has cured them. Helped them, yes. Benefited them, yes. Cured? No way. Or, I mean, we know there's no cure, but we talk about getting our lives back, saying that, okay, I used that and I got my life back, and I didn't need a diet, and I didn't need any supplements, and I didn't need to take the baths. You know, I just did that, and that worked out great. It doesn't work that way. You're led to believe that oftentimes through what you read and what you see on YouTube. Then there's an Accutane approach. Well, a person used Accutane, the strongest medication on the market, and it's in pill form. Got his life back. Fantastic. But will it work for you? So how many wild goose chases have we already been on? About a half a dozen. It's going to take you probably 2 weeks to 3 weeks to evaluate each one, and you're back to square one. That's where I was, 1994. Try this, try that, always back to square one. Everything works for a day or two. In fact, I had many things work up to 4 days. Then all hell broke loose. Oxygen therapy. We talked about oxygen last week. And absolutely, it's beneficial. And if you can incorporate, we have hydrogen peroxide in the store. We used to carry that 35% hydrogen peroxide, but that scared the hell out of me. I could imagine somebody opening it up, not wearing their rubber gloves, and splashing it in their eyes and having a big problem. So we have like 8% hydrogen peroxide. Just got to use more drops, but it's a hell of a lot safer than the 35% stuff. Epsom salt bath. Yeah, there's a YouTube video where a guy uses 5 cups of Epsom salt, and it cured him of Morgellons. And he puts it in a paste on his body as well. So, okay, so we do that. Everybody uses Epsom salts perhaps anyway, so why not? Let's really get into it. Borax paste. Oh, yes, one guy said, hey, I just take a shower and I then take borax and I make it wet and I put it as a mud all over my body. I mud myself down with borax. And it cured me. Okay, so let's try that. So there's another 2 to 3 weeks to evaluate that. Wild goose chase after goose chase. Not that you might not use some of these. Oh, Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. Yes, I cured myself with Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. Oh, I don't see why ours wouldn't work just as well. Ours got nature's gift in it, but nevertheless, we go out and we buy Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap. And what happens? Same thing, if you just use our nature's gift, so it's not going to cure you. It's not going to get your life back by itself. Well, it did for this person. So we're not going to discount them, but is it going to work for everybody? Is there a high chance of these things working for a large group of people? The answer is no. It's a matter of looking at the whole aspect of Morgellons, what contributes to it. We need to look at the gut. We need to look at the membranes. We need to look at internal parasites. Oh, yes, there's what is it? The chlorine dioxide, MMS. Yes, people have claimed that MMS cured them. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, but is it going to work for a lot of people? I did it. It made no difference to me. But anyway, you try these things, and it's another wild goose after another wild goose chase. And then there's some medications. What else we have here? We've got Equidamax, It can be bought on Amazon. It's turned my life completely around. I was infested with columbella, various bacteria, so forth. Okay. All right. So these are all things that have worked for one person, but how many? Lugos 5% iodide. Okay. Here's the guy who solved his problem. He got his life back from Morgellons with kenadazole. So what does that tell you the guy was dealing with? It's an antifungal. Did he have Morgellons? Well, he might have, but fungal issues was his problem. And, of course, we look at that, too, in our program. We don't leave out anything. Instead of looking at, okay, go do this and see if it cures you, we look at the whole picture. We look at fungal organisms, internal parasites. We look at these supplements. We tear apart Lyme disease. Lyme disease is a big part of this thing. We tear it apart. We rip it apart. So if anybody would like to share or ask a question of me or my co-host, either Robin or, not Robin, Ethel, or I'm so used to Robin. Now, Ethel is an amazing person. Ethel, how many programs? We started this recording about, what, 2.5 years ago when Margie and I first started. How many have you attended or missed?
I wasn't on the program at the very, very beginning. But once I started, I think you guys were about 3 or 4 months in, and I started, and I've missed 2 since then. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So Ethel is one of our coaches, and what's that?
I was just saying, probably for like 2.5 years, I've missed two of the calls.
That's phenomenal. Ethel is one of our coaches, and she has a lot of information. She's listened. She's been on these calls. She's been a fabric of this program. She really has, and she's a wonderful person to talk with. Our coaching is free, and you can't beat it. You know, we are here for one person. I'm here on Saturdays for one reason. That's to support you in getting your life back, because I know it's not an easy path. I went through it. I fought. You know, there are days I thought about ending my life. You know, certainly glad I didn't, because you just never know what that next day is going to bring. Even though this today is about the worst it can possibly be, you just never know. And even though if the next day is as bad, if not worse than that last day, you still don't know what the next one's going to bring. You just don't know. So it's a lot of toil and a lot of work to get your life back. And, you know, there is not one person who has joined this program who hasn't been working their tail off trying to get these organisms out of their life. Not one person. They work like hell. Yeah, I did. I toiled. I worked. I did everything. I disinfected. I did everything. No results. It's like Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's where I was. That's where many of us are. The difference now is that with this program, all that work produces results. So you're going to work. You're going to still work to get your life back. The difference is there are results waiting for you, real results. And if you're not getting the results, this is why we want you to come onto this program and ask, because you might be making a silly mistake. Not to you, it's not silly, but when we look at it, and then you look, oh, gee, I can't believe I've been buying that iodized salt, and it's got sugar in it. What is it, diamond salt? Yeah, it's got sugar in it. Diamond salt has sugar in it. And no wonder the diet hasn't kicked in. So that's the kind of question you get to ask here. Why, and oh, boom. Now things can work. Now things can. So there are little idiosyncrasies like that, tiny little things that can keep you from being successful. And this is a place you can also email me and ask questions, but this is a place you can also ask those questions, and we can help you discover where those little issues are, because we've been there. I'm looking for coaches. I sent out an email today. I'm looking for, you don't have to have your life back. Personally, very quickly, I've dealt with columbella, I've dealt with skin fungus, I've dealt with chronic Lyme disease that almost killed me, I've dealt with Morgellons, I've dealt with hot tub rash and Stronglyoides. I've been through it all. I eat anything I want, go anywhere I want. I have my life back. And it's so wonderful. And many, many people. So, but you don't have to be where I am to be a coach. If you have mastered the diet, you know, the best person to be a coach in the diet is somebody who struggled with it for a few months before it kicked in. If you got on that diet and worked you like that, you're probably not a good coach, because somebody who comes to you and says, well, I can't get it to kick in, you just won't be able to, I don't understand this person. You know, it kicked in so easy for me. And that's where I was in thinking for a while when I worked with people. So we're looking for a coach, somebody who struggled to get the diet to kick in and has had it kick in and produced results. You would make a great coach in helping others, giving of yourself. And believe me, when you give of yourself, you get it back 10 times. 10 times. Altruism, which Margie speaks about oftentimes. We're looking for a coach, environmental. For me, I'm not a good environmental coach, okay? It's easy. Ammonia, just wipe the suckers out. Got rid of them fast, you know? I didn't have to use the electrostatic sprayer. I didn't have to use, well, I did use the triple pesticide once. So looking for somebody who's mastered the environment and had to go the routine, the root, dealing with resilient types of organisms, resilient mites. So that you would make a great coach in helping others get their lives under control, their environment dealt with. So we're looking for volunteers. Please do step up and volunteer. If you've mastered your environment or got your diet to work for you, you may not have your life totally back. You may not be on stage 3. You may not even be in stage 2. But if you've gotten stage 1 to work, that is phenomenal. And I often say, don't do the diet. Don't try the diet. Make it work, because we know it works. Make the diet work. And if it's not working, you're making a mistake. That's all. No big deal. And our goal here is to help you figure it out. What mistake are you making so you can get it to work? So does anybody have a question, anything like they'd like to share? We have a few phone numbers. We can open up at random. Do you want to open up a line to someone, Chris?
I opened up Nick's number.
Nick, great. Hi, Nick.
How you doing, boss? I got a sensation where
great. You know,
I'm getting where. Let me just finish my question. I'm getting where I was able to sleep. I didn't want to tell you that, but I'll tell you that because to make you feel better that something did work. For some reason, I get a sensation where it feels like it comes back and then all of a sudden it shuts off real quick. I never had that. A sensation where it would come and go.
What comes back and what shuts off?
Oh, I'm talking the pneumatoid, whatever you said I had, the Stronglyoides, a long time ago on a questionnaire.
Oh, I have never diagnosed you as Stronglyoides. I don't even know remember what your questionnaire said, or whether. But you're saying and we don't diagnose. We're not the doctors. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that subject up.
Not diagnosed.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that. Let me just take a break here for a moment, and I'll get back to you, Nick. The FDA requires me to inform everybody on this call that we are not medical doctors. I'm not a medical doctor. Neither is Margie. She is a registered nurse, and neither is Ethel or Chris. So we are not here to give medical advice. Before you start my diet or accept any of my recommendations, there is a questionnaire if anybody is looking for kind of like putting everything in a nutshell for you. That's what I do. You answer the questions. I put it all in a nutshell. I provide you specific, detailed recommendations. But before you start those recommendations, you're to thoroughly discuss them with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. Also, the AMA and the FDA require us to tell you that we are not capable, we are not here to diagnose you, mitigate, or treat any disease. That's not our job. We're not trained to do that. What we can do is educate you. We can educate you how to clean them out of your body and how to use the King diet. We can educate you on how to clean them out of your skin using bathing protocols and how to clean them out of your environment. And we can make recommendations with specific supplements to build health and immune functioning. That's what we're allowed to do. Now, when you're saying they come back, what you mean the itching and the biting or the symptoms, or what are you mentioning here?
The symptoms of crawling sensation. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, before I go to sleep, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, it goes right away. I mean, I never had that before where it was like I'm fighting it, I guess. My body's fighting it, trying to reject it. I don't know.
So you're saying that's an improvement, right? It seems that they subside around that period of time when in the past they used to be.
Oh, forget it.
Well, I think that's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. I didn't want to say anything till I'm fully clear, but there's an improvement if that's what you want to know.
Yeah, well, we take every step forward as a gift. While you're on the phone, while you're here, I did want to ask you, because last week you had shared that you had lost 100 pounds, and I suddenly realized that there are a lot of people that would scare the hell out of people who weigh 127. So, can you tell us what your starting weight was?
Oh, my weight was like 390. Now I'm
390. So you're down to 290. Okay. All right. So those of you who only weigh 127 or 130 pounds, you will drop a few pounds most likely, but you can bulk up with certain foods. I used to bulk up with the spaghetti with spinach pasta, and meatballs and tomato sauce, and that was able to keep my weight up with that. So you can do things to bulk up and keep your weight up, but you don't have to be on stage 1 for the rest of your life. I mean, if you do it right, and you have have you ever gone to New York City and you hit at a certain time of day, it's not going to be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but maybe 3 a.m., the light is green, the next one's green, the next one's green, the next one's green. They're all green. You just keep going. Well, that's the way it can be if you do everything right with your environment and your eating. It can be all green lights, and you can be through stage 1 within a week or so, 10 days tops. But we're not all perfect, and we aren't there at 2 a.m. to travel the streets of New York. And sometimes it's more like 3 in the afternoon for us in dealing with these parasites and the diet. So we're going to make mistakes, and it's going to take us a little longer to get through stage 1 into stage 2. And stage 2 isn't a lot of additional foods, but they make a difference. Bananas and Granny Smith, they're incredible, and walnuts. It adds just so much. Just so few foods add so much flexibility. It's great. So thank you, Nick. Anyone else? You want to open up somebody else's line?
Sure, Richard. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Something I wanted to say.
Yes, Margie.
So, just as a teaching point, I believe you are perfectly qualified and legal to educate people. I think it would be helpful.
I can barely hear you. Can
you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So
yes.
I was saying that, it's absolutely perfectly legal and appropriate for you to educate people. That is something that you can do. And I think it would be helpful to people to know what Stronglyoides is and what the symptoms are and how they could distinguish that. And I know that it can be diagnosed and it can be medically treated, and it would be helpful for people to know about that.
Yes, there are 7 symptoms to Stronglyoides. You can go on Google and you can Google symptoms of Stronglyoides. I don't remember offhand all of them, but rashes. I had Stronglyoides, and the only symptom I had was rashes. Around the waistline, I don't exactly, location of them is important. I don't remember exactly where the location is that they specify. What's that?
I can tell you. The rash goes from the waist down to the feet, and so it's a horrific sort of diagnosis. You are absolutely invaded by parasites. That is what the disease is. It starts in the gut, and if you're lucky enough to get treated when it's in the gut, then it won't migrate to the rest of your body. And but if it does, it's not a dead end. There's medication, and this is one parasite that physicians recognize and they treat, and it's diagnosable. So one of the symptoms is sort of if it does come into your skin, it's sort of like almost like long S-shaped red spots, and you can have itching, urticaria, and obvious stomach will feel really heavy and kind of nauseated. You can have dumping diarrhea, like you have to run like hell to the bathroom or you're going to miss. These are some of the symptoms. And this is a diagnosis. So one of the things I object to, and I'm sorry, to these YouTube videos is totally putting a negative spin on all of medicine. There are some things medical doctors know about and they will treat. So do not avoid doctors. Just don't say, I agree with Richard, don't say the word Morgellons. And I wouldn't give them, about any other probably infection that we talk about here, maybe we won't get the best of treatment with Morgellons. But that's changing too. Thank you, Dr. Saverly. That is changing. But as far as anything, as far as Stronglyoides, you will get treated. Initially they will do a culture from your stool, and and they can find that could be positive. But if you go into the second stage of the illness, it'll go into your bloodstream, and that will be for life. Whether you're treated or not, you'll always come up positive for that. So it's something documented, something that can be treated. So I want to encourage people, if you have those symptoms, to ask your doctor to test you for that. But don't mention...
Yes, no, stay away from the word Morgellons. Never talk about that. So rashes, hives around the anus, alternating constipation, diarrhea, loss of weight. Those are, I think, 4 or 5 of the 7 basic symptoms that you can look at. And the doctor actually will say it is not indigenous to this part of the country. That's what he'll say. But if you have those list of symptoms, insist upon Quest will do a blood test, and that's the best and fast way to do it is have him draw blood, send it to Quest, test it for Stronglyoides. If you look at it's treated generally. Back in the day, I was treated with thiabenzidol. It's no longer used. Today, they use albendazole and ivermectin. If you go into Wikipedia, they say that you can treat it with Fenben. So there are different treatments. Let your doctor come up with a treatment plan for you. That's his job.
And the treatments are effective. They are effective. They work. So don't be afraid.
Yes, they are effective.
Hear horrible things on some of these programs about Morgellons, about going to doctors. I want to encourage you to go to a doctor if you think you have those symptoms. You need to be treated because this is an infection that will just take over your whole body. So make sure you go if you have those symptoms.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? You want to open up?
Yeah,
okay,
Brenda. 8100.
Yes, Brenda.
Yes, I didn't have a question.
Yes.
I got a lot of questions, but I'm just listening today. This is my first time.
Well, ask a question while you're here. You were talking earlier. Are you the gal who the doctor actually said you might have Morgellons?
Yes, he was in Fort Myers, Dr. Barnett or Barrett or something like that. I've only been to him twice. But, you know, I took a sample of my hair in there, and something had fell out in the shower, and he told me it was dead hairs, and everything comes back, you know, not any mites or anything like that. And I said, Doctor, do you think it could be Morgellons? And he said, I asked him first if he knew what it was, and he said yes. And he said it's a good possibility that it was. You know, he didn't say it was, but you know, he said there was a good possibility.
Right. Well, that's a great step, and that's the kind of response we would like to get from doctors, rather than saying you're nuts, you're crazy, you're delusional, go see a psychiatrist. So it's better for doctors. They wanted to admit you?
Yeah, this one psychiatrist told me I needed a higher level of care because I was freaking out, you know, about this stuff in my hair. And she told me she dropped me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway,
yeah, that's the kind of treatment. Yeah.
Yeah, she told me I had
that's the kind of treatment, unfortunately, we often get.
Yeah, I was scared to death to go to the doctor, and then I finally got disability, and I went to this doctor, and that's what he told me, and I was glad he told me that, you know. But anyway,
so how long have you been dealing with these? How long have you been dealing with these symptoms?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay, that's relatively short term, but for you, it's an eternity. I know 3 months is an eternity, but there are many people that have dealt with it for 20 years or more. So thank you very much for sharing. Keep coming back and work the program. The program will work for you. Thank you.
Yes, I sure will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Open up to somebody else.
0487, Shana.
Yes, hi. So I've been dealing with this. Hi, how are you? I'm trying not to cry because I've been dealing with this for 2 years, and I have medical issues and stuff, and every time I bring a video in to show my doctor or show my landlord, everybody just laughs at me. But it's gotten to the point where it's in my car, in my clothes, in my house. Everywhere I go, I bring it, and it's so painful. And I didn't know that they come out of your skin, but now I'm throwing up. I have a headache, I can't eat, and no one will help me. And I am covered. When it gets dark, I am covered in them. They just come out of nowhere, and you can see them on my pants, everything. So I had no idea that it was.
I take it that you're brand new today. Have you read the book yet?
Well, I just got the book, but I have dyslexia, so it's kind of hard for me. But I am new today.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that I found it.
All right.
I've been hospitalized twice, and no one. And I showed the video at the.
What I want you to know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. The last thing you ever want to do again is show any videos of anything to any doctors. Okay. Or the last thing you ever want to do is take any samples to any doctors. They don't understand it. They're not like the lady just before shared. She had a doctor who said it might be Morgellons. Well, 99% of the doctors are not at that level. 99% are at the level of something's wrong with you. And it's not Morgellons. So the answers are in the book. The answers are, and you keep coming back here. We're here to support you. The sooner you can get that diet started, the better for you. So and just keep coming back. Read that chapter. Yes.
Could you before you go? I'm sorry, I missed the diet. My phone was breaking up. So can you just tell me real quick what the diet is?
All right, it's in the book, and if you send me an email, it's very extensive. So I could go over the diet, but you'd have to be able to take shorthand to get it all. It's in the book, Chapter 4. The first thing is start reading Chapter 4. Do you have the book? Do you have the e-book?
Yeah, I do. Well, I believe somebody emailed me something the other day about a book, but I have dyslexia, so. And
now, how did you learn about this program today?
Well, somebody emailed me this program to join today.
Okay.
I reached out to Richard.
Yes. First thing I want you to do is send me an email. All right? And my email address is
Oh, hold on. Can I get that from you at the end? I don't have a pen on me.
Yes. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that at the end. And I'll give you the email address, and we'll get you into the program. The book is free. The diet is free. All the information we have is free, okay? And this program is free. And our coaching is free. So it's a trifecta here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else like to share? You're welcome. Keep coming back.
Tamika, your line is open. Tamika, 8398.
Tamika?
Yes.
Hi, Tamika.
Hi. I actually had a couple of questions.
Okay.
My first question is number one. I know that it said that the parasitic. You're saying that the parasitic infections can be contagious. So I was wondering, like, I haven't had anybody say that they've had symptoms from me, but, like, say, for instance, if I wanted to go swimming or something, would that be something that would affect other people?
Well, it's really hard to say. I don't think swimming is such a big deal because they have chlorine in the pool, but nevertheless, chlorine probably isn't strong enough to kill these organisms anyway. And so they may come off of your body while you're in a pool. The idea is before you go swimming is to take a bath. Now, if you're using a Nature's Gift concentrate, you can put a capful in your bath along with some disinfectant, could be peppermint or whatever. Take a bath for 45 minutes, then shower off. If you're not using Nature's Gift, well, then you're going to need to take almost a very hot bath. And use a lot of Epsom salts or some disinfectants, and then shower off. And you should be good for perhaps a couple hours to be in public without any possible issues. If you take along something, we have things like Super MSM gel or diluted Nature's Gift or the mouthwash/body wipe you can apply to any itching or discomfort that you may experience afterwards until you take the next bath. If you're not using our products, well, then there are things that you can get in the, could be even the, what is that, Neosporin or something like that. Sometimes you can apply to an area, or you can find some other lotion. There are some listed in the book. Amylactin, I think, is a lotion that sometimes might be helpful. So the idea is to be kind of morally responsible and do what you can to clean them off of your skin before you go out in public, and then take along something that's going to help in case you feel any activation when you're in public to minimize you being contagious. Now, not everybody is susceptible to these organisms. So, I mean, only one person out of 50. We don't know. One person out of 20, we don't know. It's just risky. So that's why we recommend doing what you can to minimize any possibility of infecting someone else.
Okay.
Another question you had?
See, my problem, well, I was just going to comment on that one real quick, because my problem is, in general, mine doesn't stop popping. It's constantly popping off of me. You know, like into my food and stuff as well. But my next question did go into what I just said. I'm sorry?
What's popping off of you?
I believe that it's just parasites.
I didn't get that.
Like,
I didn't understand.
I believe that it's been more. For so long, I believed that it was Morgellons alone because I didn't know anything about Cambola or anything like that. But I have like. I constantly have like little white things falling off of me. Some look like string, like little black dots, little white dots. Some look brown, stuff like that. So I automatically assume Morgellons because I did research on myself.
No, that has nothing to do with Morgellons. That's most likely some kind of mite, various forms of mites that might be coming off of you or dying and falling off of you. Now, are you on the diet?
I'm trying to get as close to doing a diet as possible. Right at this point in time, I'm living in a hotel room, and they bring us food, and I'm not able right now to do the diet myself. But I'm trying to do as close as I can to it.
Is there any? So it's not possible for you to get your own apartment or your own room where you're not in a hotel, where you're not dependent on others?
I'm in the process of trying to get my apartment at this point in time. But right now, I'm just waiting until my apartment comes through.
I'm afraid I can't have good news for you until you have control of your diet, because until then, even a smallest Tic Tac, breath mint, or chewing gum, or a piece of chewing gum, you're off the diet. So if you're at the mercy of hotel food, they're preparing it with oils, canola, corn oil, whatever you want. So that automatically is a problem. They're probably giving you starches that are going to be a problem, wheat, refined foods. So there's not a chance that you're going to make any significant progress until you can get your own environment and control of your own diet. It's just unfortunate.
Okay. And also, also, I wanted to know how, well, actually, that kind of explains my environmental fix, too, because I go outside a lot, and I'm worried about, things that could contribute to my issue, and also...
Yes, yeah, you have to have control of your bedding. You need to be doing disinfecting your bedding daily. You need to be able to spray your bedding, your bed, the room. Ideally, you would want to encase the mattress in a plastic bag. So there are a lot of things that you can't do, unfortunately, that are going to be important for you to do when you get your own place.
Right.
So keep coming back. Make your priority number one to get your own place so you can control everything.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, Chris?
1135 open. 1135.
Hello, how are you? This is my name is Beth. Hi.
Hi, Beth.
I've been doing Lyme treatment for about 2.5 years, and I've had this constant rash on my hands. She, at one point, I guess she told me the last time that I went there that it was Morgellons, and I'm like, oh, okay. So because of the little fine fibers that were coming out, you can only see mine at 60 times. So you can't see them on a normal basis, but when you do the 60 times, and she showed them to me, and I'm like, okay, that's not right. And so she's been working on it, but I went and looked into it, and that's when I found you. I have started the diet. I've lost 15 pounds, so I still have a lot more to go. I am finding I am doing the I'm doing the baths, but I'm finding that as I'm doing more and more baths, that more and more red, like the red, little red dots are coming up. Is that the parasites coming out and being destroyed, or is that something I'm doing wrong in my diet?
Well, number one, the diet is super important to be perfect on it. And number two, remember that if you're dealing with Morgellons or many of these skin parasites, your skin has been destroyed layers deep. So it's going to be coming off of you gradually. Ethel, do you have anything to add to that?
I think what you said is encouraging, Richard, in as much as the longer she continues to do the baths, she will see a lessening of the parasite, the debris in the water as she, lets the water go out of the tub. And I still get the little raspberry spots occasionally, and I look at that as just, them dying off, or just the blood continuing to try to cleanse itself. But the more that
when I put debriding soap on it, it stings. And it also, when I try to scrub it, because I know one of the people in the book had said that she does some kind of scrubbing after she does when she's in the shower. Now, when I put debriding soap on it, it stings a lot. And then it also bleeds when I scrub it.
Okay, you're dealing with, if you're, now when you put the debriding soap on, are you putting on the concentrate, the 100%?
Yes. Is that too much? All right.
Well, we never actually recommend 100%. Some people do it. They do it with a lesion. And if you have a lesion or a spot that you're dealing with in particular, I would use a more diluted, something like out of the mouthwash. It's a great combination, or even just the diluted Nature's Gift. You can, like if it's a lesion particular or a particular spot, you can wet the Band-Aid, the pad on a Band-Aid, and apply that so it will be exposed to it. Probably won't burn, but the fact that it's burning, it probably indicates that the skin is reacting to it, and it's very much like if you're dealing with skin fungus, and if you apply apple cider vinegar to your skin, it's going to burn like hell. But if you put vinegar on skin that's not affected by skin fungus, it's not going to burn. So
right, I've tried everything.
The Nature's Gift.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So you're cleansing yourself. It's a part of cleansing yourself. Do you have anything to add to that, Margie, or any comment?
No, I think that's all. I don't think I have anything else to add.
I mean, I was using also, I'm only using peppermint as my disinfectant. I was wondering if there was something better, because maybe I'm reacting to the peppermint also, because what I will do is put, when I'm in the tub, I can't get both my top of my legs, because they're the ones that are breaking out. That's the ones that have the little red dots, and around my neck. So when I lay in the tub, I can't lay and get the neck and the thighs at the same time. So so what I do is take the 100% and peppermint, mix it in my hand, and then put it on there. Maybe I'm burning my skin. I'm not sure.
You probably are, because peppermint can burn you, and that's why one of the challenges is to use a disinfectant in the tub that's strong enough to destroy most of the organisms, but not too strong to harm your skin. So that's one of the first things to figure out. And sometimes it's a combination of disinfectants. So Chapter 3 goes through a list of, I don't know, about 20 different disinfectants, and the ones that you can mix together and the ones that you can't mix together, like you don't want to put an acid and a base together. You don't want to use baking soda with vinegar or peroxide. You don't want to make those kinds of mixtures. So the first challenge is to figure out what is the best disinfectant for you. Now, you're saying you're dealing with Lyme disease?
Yeah, that's just something that's been ongoing. My daughter had it, my son had it, and I now have it. So it's just we've all gotten it in different ways.
Okay.
And so.
Okay. Now, nutritionally.
Go ahead.
Let me mention nutritionally. Nutritionally, there are 4 things that are important to do for Lyme disease. Number 1, a good multiple vitamin like we have, and minerals. Those 2 are important. Number 3 is boost glutathione. Now, we do this with our Max 1 product. Now, the reason I say this is
hold on, okay. I just started that. I just started that 2 days ago.
Good.
Okay,
fantastic. So now, what you're going to find out.
Yeah. What
you're going to find out is that the Max 1 increases the glutathione levels intracellularly, and it will detoxify. It will get rid of all of the toxins. Lyme, the spirochete loves toxicity. It takes away their playground. And then the acillin, the garcillin, that's the natural antibiotic. You put those 4 things together. Now, I can't call it an antibiotic, but if you go to Wikipedia, Wikipedia will define garcillin as an antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic. We use that as opposed to the colloidal silver, which is another approach. We also have colloidal silver in the store. You know, I was talking about earlier about the one-time cure things. And people say, yeah, colloidal silver cured me. Well, it doesn't work for everybody, but we have it in the store. So, but those 4 things are important. And when you do those 4 things, you may find that you require little, if any, medical treatment. But any medical treatment that you get, whether it be antibiotics or whether it be rifing with electromagnetic waves, or whether it be salt and vitamin C, whichever technique the LLMD uses with you, it will be greatly improved. And the success will be much greater if you go in with the right nutrients.
So if I just started the glutathione, then this could be just stuff coming out of me. Is that right?
Well, yes, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out of you, and the fact that you're telling me this is the areas where the tub water doesn't get, it tells me that that's not getting a bath. So our goal is to mimic the bath water everywhere on our body. So the area that is not being gotten, for instance, if it's your knees, then you may want to get gauze, a piece of gauze, and wet the gauze with diluted Nature's Gift and tape it to your knees and keep it on there to mimic a bath. You could even put it around your neck, some gauze around your neck and wet it so that that skin is exposed to the Nature's Gift to extract it and clean it, just like to mimic a bath.
Around my neck, it almost seems a little burned. So I'm wondering if that's the peppermint and the 100%. So should I just stick
most likely, yeah. 50%? Yes. Yeah, the peppermint is probably irritating your skin. Yeah, the peppermint's irritating your skin.
So I should do the 50% instead of the 100%, but what do you recommend as the other? Do you like the Epsom salt? What's the next best to peppermint? The Epsom salt?
Well, you can use any of the essential oils, but the peppermint is the least expensive. Some people use pool shock, an ounce of pool shock. You go to the pool supply place and buy a gallon of it for about $8, and you use about an ounce or an ounce and a half in each bath. Some people use a cup of apple cider vinegar. Some people use a cup of peroxide. Some people use a half a container or a container of baking soda. So it's a matter of experimenting and see which works best for you economy-wise, if that's an issue as well.
Well, I'm just afraid that because the debriding soap burns it, I'm afraid all of those things are going to burn it also. So that's where I thought maybe the Epsom salt would be a little more calming, but I'm not sure of that.
Well, the rest of your skin is not burned when you're in the tub, right? It's only the areas that you apply the concentrate and the peppermint to.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're talking about. You're not going to use the peppermint there anymore. In fact, you probably don't have to use anything. Just wet a gauze with diluted Nature's Gift. You don't have to use concentrate. Diluted Nature's Gift, and tape it to your knees or tape it to your neck. When you're home at night, you're watching TV, just put gauze around your neck and tape it there and leave it there. Okay, for an hour or two, and you'll notice that you'll notice it's just like being in a bathtub. Anybody who has a lesion on their skin and have trouble getting rid of it, just take a Band-Aid, wet the part of the Band-Aid, the spongy part with some diluted Nature's Gift, tape it on that lesion, and change the Band-Aid a couple of times in a couple of days, and that lesion's gone. It's cleaned. It's going to be cleaned out.
I have a spray bottle with the 100% and peppermint in it, and I would spray it. I mean, I would put water in it. I would do exactly what you told me to do, but maybe that's too much. So you're saying I should just use the debridement soap and maybe just use the 50% and not the 100%?
Dilute it 1 to 64. The 100% takes 64 parts of water to 1 part of nature's gift. You don't need it strong.
Okay, so every 4 ounces is 20 drops is what I was doing.
Okay, 4 ounces and 20 yeah, with of the nature's gift.
Drops.
Right, that would be good.
Of the 100%.
Right. Uh-huh.
Is that right?
Yes, whatever the instructions tell you that. Whatever, I don't remember the instructions.
Okay.
Yeah,
So just
whatever the instructions say. That's 1 to 6. No, you don't need the peppermint.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And then I
have
a question about
now the reason
okay, go ahead.
Yes, the reason you need the peppermint in the bath or a disinfectant in the bath is because nature's gift, when you put it in a bathtub, that's a dilution of 1 to about 128,000. Okay. Now, what I just told you, a dilution of 1 to 64 to put on your skin, 1 to 64. Okay? So in the bathtub, unless you want to put in a half a gallon of nature's gift, you need to use something like peppermint or apple cider vinegar or something to kill the organisms after the nature's gift extracts them, cleans them out of your body.
Right. Okay, so really look at chapter 3 and 6, see which one I want to go to.
Yes. Did you have another question?
Okay. Just Lipton tea bags. It says that it's just Pico tea, because I know you said to really use a very, what do you call it? Just something that's not blended.
Well, we have a lot of teas. Yeah, teas, you have to read the ingredients. I don't know if Lipton has changed, but from the years ago when I read the ingredients, they had other stuff in it, and it would always cause a problem. Our teas are very good, very inexpensive, a lot less expensive than you're probably going to spend at the supermarket. Gosh, my favorite, I love the Sisters tea. The Sisters tea is fantastic, and I use comfrey. I actually mix Sister tea and comfrey. I use comfrey to hopefully build bone mass. Has nothing to do with parasites, but that's become my favorite. But I mean, we have lemongrass, we have peppermint, we have a lot of great teas. So don't support Lipton, support us.
I know. I am trying, but at the same time, my husband doesn't have a job. So he lost his job, and I've been trying to do this, but it's been really tough. But, it's better than not being healthy. So we're just kind of along that line. But I know I might have started. Can you start apples too early? Is that something? Because I noticed that I really like a Lipton cup of tea. Go ahead.
Only Granny Smith apples when you're free of the itching and biting for a day or so. Then you can start with Granny Smith. And if you continue being free, then you're on stage 2. Yay!
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep coming back. We're here to support you. All of us are here for you to say one thing. Because you guys, I hung in there. I got my life back. It wasn't easy, but I did it, and it was worth it because I'm worth it. That's why we're here, so you can say that. Anyone else like to share? Anybody? Open up the line.
8929 is open.
8929.
Oh, that's me. I'm Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. My husband and I are both dealing with this, and I have it a lot worse, but I've been on the diet. I'm doing a whole lot better. I don't feel things all the time. I don't feel them all, usually I would feel it all day, every day, but now it's off and on. It's not constant, so I'm very thankful. But I cut his hair. His hair is really thick and really long, and he just really needed it cut. But when I was cutting it, I felt things coming off and getting on me, and I was wondering if there was any pointers because he didn't want to go to the salon because of the whole, he still has stuff in his hair.
Please keep him away from the salon. Wear gloves yourself, rubber gloves that maybe come up halfway to your elbow. spray on some, maybe put on some essential oils or wet them with essential oils so they're not going to be even attracted to the rubber gloves?
No, because I did have on gloves.
Do you have any suggestions?
Pardon me?
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions to that, Ethel or Margie?
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Margie.
he could, you could set him up at the kitchen sink and put his head back and put a ton of disinfectants, which would be the expertise to tell you what to use, in his head, and then put a shower cap on and let it sit for a while, and then let it, and then rinse it. Disinfect it a couple of times before you cut it, and then just sit him in the backyard and go to it.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Good. We're talking. First of all, we're talking about how you can keep from getting infected, but I'm going to have Ethel tell you what he can do and what you can help him do to get his head free of it. So, want to go through the protocol, Ethel?
Okay. She's talking in regard to her husband?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, my position is that we can get our hair back, but we need to get our scalps healthy again. So what I did was I bought myself a set of clippers because I wanted to be socially responsible and not go to a salon. And I stood in the mirror, and to make sure I didn't check it out, I just put a buzz right through the middle. And I buzzed all of my hair off down to just no hair. And then I put all the good products directly onto the scalp. And that would be the Nature's Gift, some Claudia's Dream Cream, a few drops of the peppermint or clove oil, because mites really dislike the clove oil, and MSM gel. Make that into like a paste with some water, massage it into your scalp, and put a swimming cap on, and just repeat that often. And at night, if you just have to keep your hair, make sure that you are doing the same thing. Make sure you're massaging the scalp and all the way out to the end of the hair. Less hair, less products you have to use. And once again, put the swimming cap on, but around the edges, put like a barrier of Vaseline so these things won't migrate down into your face, the product nor the parasites, and keep that on overnight. For him, he might not want to wear a cancer cap out in public like the ladies do, but they have some absolute cute cancer caps for ladies. But, they have some nice little fashionable caps for dudes. So look for some, some little spiffy caps that he can put on with the swim cap on under it. Maybe one of those reggae hats, they have those big head caps that they wear. But the main thing is to have the Nature's Gift along with the Claudia's Dream Cream, some MSM gel, some of the essential oil, a few drops of that, make a mixture with water, and put that on your hair and do it often until you start feeling less and less activity in your scalp area.
The funny thing is,
great.
He's not losing his hair, I am, but he's still feeling a lot of stuff. But he wears a shower cap at night, but he can't wear anything on his head at work. But he does put on a shower cap at night. He'll put some conditioner with the essential oils, and he puts that on at night. And anytime he feels something, he'll spray some like vinegar in his scalp. But I don't still think in my head like I did before, but when I was cutting his hair, the hair was falling to my toes, and it was like I felt stuff going into my feet too. So doing it outside is a good idea too. So thank you. I had one more question.
Well, do you have like maybe one of those beautician tapes that they put around? They have like a circular thing that they put around when they're doing a shampoo. If you could put like a plastic bag or something down around his chair and put your feet under that so that the hair will fall into the plastic barrier and not onto your feet, because if the hair goes onto your feet, then you have a good chance of the parasites entering your body that way. So, or wear, like Richard says, put on your wading boots, your even to go outside, the gardening boots.
The riding boots, right?
I had one other question. I felt something.
Yes. Before that, one other thing is make sure his headrest in the automobile is disinfected. Yes. That the pillow he sleeps on is disinfected, so he doesn't get reinfected. What Ethel gave you is the Cadillac of getting your life back from your scalp. Obviously, the shorter your hair, the quicker it's going to be, the less you have to deal with it, the less products that you're going to be using. But this is a war. I mean, you hold back, and it's just going to stretch it out longer and longer. You attack them with everything you've got to get them out of your life and destroy them. So you got to look at it. Okay, your other question?
My other question was, I haven't been feeling anything much at all, but I felt something like it's in my intestines. I know I had a bump on one side of my stomach, and I felt like it was like a bunch of parasites had like made like a nest or something there. Well, that's gone now. Now it's on my left side, but now I felt something on my right side, and it felt like something just pierced through like my small intestines, like in the upper area.
Well, have you completed the questionnaire, sent it back, and gotten my recommendations?
Yeah, I did a while ago. Yeah, I haven't bought any.
Okay, there are three things we recommend for internal parasites. If you go to most professionals, they're going to say wormwood and black walnut. We don't do that because those ingredients feed columbella. So number one, we recommend to clean your body, first of all, with diatomaceous earth, taking a teaspoon in water. You can actually take it with a baking soda if you're alkalizing your body as well. Doing that a couple times a day, and then using our Nature's Gift mouthwash, and then consume it after you clean your mouth. That is like consuming liquid carbon instead of charcoal that you get for flatulence. This is like liquid carbon. It's going to help cleanse your intestines with organisms that could be contributing to this. And then the third step is fenbenzidol, which is a medication that you get from Mexico that will also cleanse out the organisms from internal organisms. So that's our basic approach for dealing with, yes?
How do you spell that?
Fenben, F-E-N-B-E-N, fenbenzidol. Now, if you got my recommendations, the link and everything is in the recommendations I sent you.
Okay.
If you don't have them handy and lost them, just send in your email me with your name, and I'll look up your recommendations and email them to you. Everybody who completes the questionnaire, I do an analysis, I give you the recommendations, I save a copy of it. That information is not given to anybody else or shared with anybody, but if you lose it, you can always email me and I'll find it and send it back to you. Perhaps one day someone will take all of this data, there's a lot of data in that questionnaire, and perhaps go through it and analyze it. First of all, we know that just from a cursory analysis that probably 8 women to 2 men deal with parasites, so that's a rather interesting statistic. So we would be using the data for that kind of work to see how many people have this, how many people have that. Nothing personal.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? Anything else? Hello?
Just that, like, I've lost a lot of weight.
Well, that means are you underweight?
Yes, I was already small, but now I'm really, really, really thin.
Is the diet has kicked in for you? You're free of symptoms? You're free of itching and biting?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, here and there I'll have stuff, but not all the time like I was.
Well, then you're ready. You're ready to move to stage 2, most likely. So have you looked at stage 2? Green apples, Granny Smith, walnuts, bananas.
Stage 2 doesn't add a lot, right?
Doesn't, but it makes a huge difference. Bananas are a superfood. Walnuts are a superfood. I mean, you're talking about green apple, Granny Smith. You're talking about 3 superfoods.
And avocados?
No, not unless you only have Morgellons. If you're dealing with springtails or columbella, no avocados until you reach the end of stage 2, maybe stage 3. Okay. No artichoke, no asparagus. Okay, thank you. Any open the line? Somebody? What's that? Yeah.
I can't seem to put on any weight, and my husband's really worried because I'm like really, really thin.
As I shared earlier, bulk up. I bulked up on spinach pasta, rice spinach pasta, meatballs. Oh, I love to make turkey meatballs. I love them. Brown turkey meat, and you buy you can either make your own tomato sauce from tomatoes, or you can get, I think Cantata is a brand of tomato sauce that has no ingredients in it. So you just read the ingredients and get and bulk up on it. Eat a lot of it. You can make your own spelt bread or rye bread. Very easy. The recipe in chapter 5.
Okay, I'm a little afraid of carbs because it has a bad reaction for me before.
Well, you can bulk up on. You can have the spaghetti. I mean the pasta, right? The green spinach pasta.
I've never seen that anywhere.
The rice pasta.
Well, most health food stores have it. Even brown rice pasta. You don't have to have the spinach pasta. Brown rice pasta. Okay. Just make sure you're not getting the regular pastas. You had something, Margie?
Yeah. Just remember. I know that particularly depending on your age group, but many of us were brought up on you don't eat the chicken skin, you don't eat the turkey skin. It's really bad for you. It's high cholesterol and all that. Of course, now they're finding there's so much collagen in chicken skin and turkey skin, and it's great for your gut. And it's very fattening. So feel free to indulge in animal skin because it's great for your gut. It's high in calories. It'll help heal your gut because it's got tons of collagen in it, and it'll add a lot of calories to your food plan.
That's a fantastic suggestion. Thank you.
I'm used to eating that. Thank you.
Good. So, yeah, I didn't know that. That's great, Margie. Thanks. That's good information. So you can bulk up and get the calories, and you don't have to lose the weight. And so that's why we're here. We're here to figure it out. I don't have all the answers, and I'm so grateful to have people like Margie and Ethel and Robin who can participate and fill in the blanks. Okay. Anyone else, Chris?
Yeah, I pretty much opened up the lines which was noted before the call, and those people who texted me. Do you want people to text me, or do you want me to open up all the lines?
Well, nobody has well, we can open the lines up for a couple of minutes. If we have a lot of noise, we'll just kind of end the segment.
Okay. I'm opening everybody now.
It's been a great call. Okay. want to share? Your lines are open.
I have a question. Oh, sorry. I was wondering, what about I have 2 cats. If they're affecting me as bad as they are, what do I do about my animals?
All right. The person you want to speak with is Robin, and she is not here today. So if you would please come back next week, or you can go back. We have recorded many segments about dealing with cats, and if you go back through the YouTube, most of them are indexed, and you can find the segment about the cats and look at that if you need an answer right away. The email that went out announcing this program has every call at the bottom, and you can just scan down and find the one that has something to do with animals or cats. So you can go right to that one and see it already recorded, or you could come back next week and talk to Robin about it. I'm not an expert on the cats and animals.
Richard, I have some experience about cats.
Okay, go for it.
Here is Raphael. I'll show you. So Raphael is a long cat. As you can see, he has a lion cut. So I keep him short.
Margie is holding up her cat. Your voice fades in and out, Margie.
So this is Raphael, and he is a long-haired grandpa, a long hair. So I get a lion cut for him. So he's completely shaved except for his little tail and around his collar. That helps immensely. My other cat was a long-haired, short-haired cat, but very thick. I give him a whiffle. I call it a regular boy's haircut. And I just keep them short. That's number one. And they're fine with that. And then I use the NG. That's been the biggest help for me. So I dilute the NG, and I just take a cup of the NG diluted according to directions, and I put paper towels, soak them in there, and then I just swab the cats down with the NG, and they love it. They find how soft their fur is afterwards, and I have no problem picking them up. And I couldn't go near my cats for 2 years.
I have a Persian Siamese, but did you say GNG?
NG, yeah.
Nature's Gift.
Yeah, and you should get them shaved. Put diatomaceous earth in their cat box. Sure you do that every day. And I feed them like the way I eat. So I give them mostly protein, high protein, really good quality cat food, organic cat food. They're pretty good. But finally, I have peace with my cat. So it's been a long journey for me. But those are some of the things that have helped me.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So the diet is important. The diet is important. So the cat food needs to be pretty much on the diet. You don't want additives in it that are not on the diet. And Margie used the Nature's Gift diluted 1:64, as we mentioned earlier, and she wiped her cat down. You shaved your cat, right? Did you say you shaved your cat?
Yeah, I bring them to the groomer, and they will shave them down to almost like a whiffle. If it's a short-haired cat, and if it's a long-haired cat, they'll do this kind of cute haircut that looks like a lion. It's called a lion cut.
Mm-hmm.
And
the lion cut. So you good. It helps to shorten the hair. Robin would tell you to get like Lufeneron. There's a medication that you can get in the pet stores with Lufeneron in it as well. So that's basically it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Margie.
Get a good haircut back. That's without saying.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay, good. Anyone else have a question or like to share before we close this segment and we move into the next?
Yeah,
Richard, this is Ethel.
Sandy?
Yes, Ethel.
I just wanted to offer some work. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
You're loud and clear. Yes.
I just wanted to, I hope offer these as words of encouragement. I found out when I, first started, I was doing a lot of what you said initially, like the wild goose chase, chasing off at this thing and that thing, and they were all good ideas. And then finally, I had a very unselfish naturopath here where I am, who was absolutely gleeful when she was telling me about your debriding soap and asked me to try it. And I was doing her protocol at the time, and so I finished it up, and then I decided to do yours. But I was piecemealing, and I found, because I kept thinking, I can't afford to do this. And so finally, I thought, I've got to do it all at the same time in order for this to be effective. So I made like a list of things that I needed to do for my health, my environment. So I got the things that I needed for my environment, basically the ammonia. And then I later bought the Victory sprayer, which helped tremendously and reduced a lot of my work. So I got those things I need to treat my environment. I got the types of food that I needed to do the diet properly. I had been a vegetarian for many, many years, but I reincorporated some really good beef and some fish because I could not get, I didn't have a source of protein anymore, a complete protein, because I could not have like the beans and rice together. And the supplements. I ordered the packet, then I got the lufeneron and the chitosanase, and once I started doing all of those together and doing the baths and the environment and the supplements, I saw a turnaround. So sometimes I guess we just have to make the really hard choice, the life will make the choice for us, to go ahead and just invest in ourselves, and we'll get better quicker, whereas we're just kind of piecemealing. We're just kind of prolonging our agony. So I'm hoping that somehow this would be encouraging. I'm a retiree. I didn't have a bunch of money, but I had good credit and a credit card. And I thought, I will use this. I am worth whatever I charge to get myself better. And thankfully, I've been able to pay on my credit card every month. And they keep offering me more credit. So it means that I'm, doing pretty good. But just just do it. Just do the whole, get the lufeneron, get the Finbin, get the packet that you need, get the supplements, and just take it, and you will feel better. That's been my experience. I'll just talk from my experience.
Thank you so much for that.
Can I ask this?
Yes.
Oh.
Sure.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I was trying to get on before, but I don't think you could hear me.
Oh, shut up.
So
just say it.
Finish what you were saying, Richard, and then I can talk.
Well, we were talking about the goose chases that people go on in the very beginning. That was the subject of this call, and the one I missed was lufeneron. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have written me and told me that lufeneron cured them. It didn't cure them, but it was a part of it. So you don't do any one thing expecting results. You do the whole package, and you get results. Otherwise, you're just piecemealing it. Lufeneron, if you only did the lufeneron, it would be another wild goose chase. If you're not using the diet and you're not using just another wild goose chase. Yes, you were going to ask something or can say something?
This is Sandy. I guess I'm still struggling with this, whatever it is on my chest, kind of spreading. And I think it's the fungus that it burns with apple cider vinegar, but then it got really bad, and so I stopped that and just put coconut oil. I think maybe I did what someone was saying earlier, maybe too much peppermint, too much apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, you're irritated the skin, huh?
But now, I mean, I can't figure out why it's just spreading, because I got the mattress in plastic and the pillows, but this, whatever it is in my chest is just, and maybe it's from the, maybe it's a reaction then. I don't really know what to do at this point, because doing everything except all the supplements. But I was thinking of going back to Aura. I don't know what to do, really. But I don't know what
well, that might be that may be beneficial, but so the diet is not kicked in if you're still having these reactions then, right?
The diet hasn't. I had a half of banana, and I had I stopped eating the rice noodles because I think Robin pointed out that they're sugar, they're just making flour. But I was eating noodles the other day and a half a banana, and then I think it got worse after that. But I'm not sure. I mean, it's just really hard to figure out what's going on. But now it just looks kind of like this rash all over the front of my chest and going up my neck, too. And I don't think it's from my head because I change my sheets every day. I'm doing all those things. I can't figure out what it is. So what's do?
Do you have any suggestions about that, Margie? Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, these organisms, they're sugar addicts. They send high, I mean, there are foods that are very high in carbohydrates, and if you overeat them, it will stimulate a reaction. Parasites love sugar. So if you eat enough, say, rice pasta, your blood sugar is going to go up. And when that does, you're going to stimulate the parasites. So we have to be aware of quantity of what we're eating. The foods are safe, but if you overeat foods that are highly refined and they're carbohydrates, they will stimulate parasites, including the flours that are supposedly legal. If you're overeating it, you know, and carbs are so easy to overeat because they're so comforting. So just be aware of that. Have great respect for anything on the food plan that is carbohydrate, sugar. Eat it. Go very carefully. If you tend to focus on the diet, you haven't done anything wrong. But if you overeat certain foods, you will stimulate the parasites.
Well, I think I'm eating too much rice, but I don't know. I'm like the person before that I've lost so much weight, and then I have a stomach problem going on too. So I'm limited in my foods, so I've been eating like just tons of rice, really, and I was thinking maybe that's overkill. But I don't know what to.
Can I make a comment? I can't eat the white rice.
Only your experience.
Okay, this is mine, yes. I can't eat the white rice. I can only eat the brown. And I know you said in your book that everybody's different. And some people can eat the white rice, but you need to test that and see if that's right for you. Well, it kept giving me those little squealy things in my skin. So I went to the brown rice, and that seems to be better. And I even found some brown rice pasta, and it only has brown rice in it. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the rice stuff. I mean, the flour stuff. I don't eat flour stuff. But could I be eating too much rice? Could I be eating too much rice? Brown rice?
Well, you have to keep a diary and somehow figure that out. I guess anything is possible. We don't know all the answers. We just know that anything is possible. We had a lady who found that she could only eat rice certain times a day.
Wow.
Insulin levels go up and down throughout the day, and that might make sense for someone who may not be diabetic but might have a sensitivity to. There are people who aren't diabetic but are more highly sensitive to carbohydrates than other people. So our bodies are always fluctuating throughout the day, and it is, I think, Richard's advice and notice, be very scrupulous about what you observe, write it down.
Right. So, yeah, we we'll just throw some ideas out there, and now you have some things to experiment with and try. The thing that you might try instead of using the apple cider vinegar is some gauze with the diluted Nature's Gift, and tape that on the area without the apple cider vinegar or any peppermint or any essential oils that might burn the area. So that's another thing that you may experiment with.
Yeah, I think I'll try that.
You don't have to do a big. You don't have to do a big area to see if it'll work. You just do a small area, and if it works, then go to town. See what works. You know, Nature's Gift with. Okay.
Should I do the bath?
Right. Yes.
Should I still do bath?
Oh yeah, I would still do the bath. Yeah, right. And I'm not sure which would be the best disinfectant. Generally, with skin fungus, the best one is apple cider vinegar.
Well, yeah, maybe I could put it pretty diluted in the bath, so maybe I could do that in the bath.
Yeah, it's far more diluted in the bath, right? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else now that the lines are open? Well, I guess that concludes this portion of the program. I want to thank Margie and Ethel for being my co-host, and Chris for doing the recording and the technical aspects. We'll close this section.